Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock. You did it again, Sandra Bullock. You did it again. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode on Split Talk Movie Reviews. Today we're going to talk about this movie on Netflix I saw last night called Unforgivable. Unforgivable. Man, that movie definitely deserved that title. Unforgivable. Makes you think, what in life is really, truly unforgivable? You know, the concept of forgiveness is completely relative to a person's beliefs, individualism, society view, you know. Well, like in all my videos, we're going to start off with the good and the bad, a little bit of the summary, and then spoilers at the end. So, overall, this movie was a great movie. It's not your typical, drama. If you're a Sandra Bullock fan, you know that she does a lot of good movies involving drama, whether it's domestic abuse, child kidnapping, women empowerment. Sandra Bullock has done a lot of movies like that, all about, the female perspective in certain situations. But great actress, love her. I love every movie I've ever seen. And to see this movie, to see her again, like, she really got it down. That distraught look, that my life is shit look, like the way she looked and acted in this movie, it was like perfect for the part, perfect. The acting in this movie was great. Storytelling was great. I honestly, for what it is, for what this movie is at its core, it's storytelling. I have to give it a 5. Because it was unexpected, very unexpected. I thought there were certain things in the movie that was going to be typical, predictable, but no. Movie surprised me from beginning to end. Took me off guard. Really good movie. Honestly, I don't have any complaints about the movie at all. I would have liked towards the ending seen a little bit more of her interaction with one of the other important characters in the movie, but that's about it. And that's not really that big of a deal because it still had a pretty good ending. A good way to conclude the movie. So, this movie, basically, it's about this woman, Sandra Bullock, her character, her name is Ruth Slater, who goes to prison, went for 20 years, comes out, and basically she's a committed felon for killing a police officer. And in this movie, it shows a lot of the hate that is projected onto people who are cop killers. And it's interesting. It's interesting to see it from the perspective of whites on whites. I've seen in other movies, how black people are treated when they're considered criminals or cop killers. But to see a realistic perspective on like how even a white person will go through something like that, being a cop killer, being labeled as that. And even, it's not even just about her being labeled as a cop killer, but also just as a convict in general, the struggle that convicts and people who just got out of prisons recently and what they go through when they're looking for a job, when they're trying to get their life together, all because of a mistake. I know maybe in some cases there's just straight up criminals who just fucked up their life because of multiple decisions. But in this story, what makes it so intriguing and impactful is that it's a person who made one mistake in a very extreme, dangerous, toxic situation. She made one choice and ruined her whole life. And those are the type of stories that I like, because those are the type of stories that we ignore as people. Like, we ignore the fact that that most likely most people who go to prison aren't actually really bad people or even were meant to be criminals. They were just people who were in the wrong time, wrong situation, wrong environment, wrong parents, and they had to play the cards that they were dealt. And this movie emphasizes on that a lot. You know, playing the cards that you are dealt, living your life, even though being labeled with this mistake that you made. This movie is very impactful. So this woman, she's trying to get her life together, and she's trying to reconnect with her sister, who she lost custody of when she went to jail. The story goes into a lot of different aspects of Ruth Slater's life. The victims, you know, like the family of the cop, how they dealt with the situation, how they're dealing with the situation. The movie is great. It's really great. Just definitely watch it if you're into drama, into intriguing, impactful storytelling. It makes you think, makes you emotionally involved. So, really good movie. Definitely watch it. Like I said, I give it a 5 out of 5 because it was different. It was completely different. There's a lot of twists in there. It's not what I expected. It's not your typical drama story. It's really different, but really good at the same time. All the pieces fit in together really well. Have a lot of good actors in there. So definitely check it out on Netflix. Check it out on Netflix. Before I move on to spoilers, get off my video. Spoilers. Wow. What I find crazy in this movie is like how something so complicated can also be simple. And this is what I mean. In the scene when you finally discover that the reason she went to jail, Ruth Slater, Sandra Bullock's character, the fact that her sister, her baby 5-year-old sister, was the one who, in a panic, a state of mind of being scared, picked up the shotgun and, you know, shot the cop who was sneaking in through the back to like try to get in the house, because basically Ruth Slater and her sister, their mother died at her sister's birth, and then the father didn't pay much mind to them, was depressed, killed himself, left them alone with the house, and now the bank wanted to take the house. And then there's so many situations like that in life where people are fucked over like that, you know, where it's something completely out of your control. It was completely out of her control. The fact her father killed herself, the fact that the house was going to be taken away from them, you know, and she was scared, panicked, didn't know too much. Like, it's so sad to know that there are people who exist in this life who just want to live their life, be happy, but because they lack the knowledge of how our government works, how our economy works, they don't know what to do in these extreme situations. And there's nobody there to really help them. You know, the way the cop handled the situation, horrible. First of all, in a situation like that, a cop should never go into a house where a woman is frantic and threatening to use a shotgun on the the guys who work with the bank who are trying to get into the house and kick her out, who are trying to repo the house. Like, you should always have backup. You should always have like a negotiator, someone who can calm the victim down so that stuff like this don't happen, where it wasn't even her, but her 5-year-old sister got scared, and because there was a gun in the house, she picked it up in her state of mind. Who knows what that little girl was thinking? Not like she knew any better, and killed the cop. And then Ruth Slater, Sandra Bullock's character, had to take the blame. She took the blame because she was scared. She had no idea what was going to happen. But in order to not risk it, she took the blame and went to jail for 20 years and said that she killed the cop instead of the 5-year-old. Which is crazy to me, because in a real life situation, something like that happening, the kid, first of all, like, most likely in that situation, the kid wouldn't have, completely been taken away from her. I mean, there would have been ways for her to get help. There's just so many ways. And that's the thing about it too, is because you as a real person looking at this situation, it's like, would she really have gotten the help that she needed if she would have told them the truth that the 5-year-old picked up the shotgun and killed the cop? Would she still have gotten the help that she needed? Would she? Because that's the thing about people. You can be given a little bit of information and you'll automatically make a lot of assumptions and draw conclusions and judgments. That's how people naturally are. Look how in the scene, when the cops were looking for her, they were already guns out, obviously because she killed the cop, right? But why didn't they do an investigation to see that there was fingerprints with the little girl, like fingerprints of the little girl? Why weren't there analysis done to really see if the scene fit this crime just because she says she did it? That's another thing, another flaw in our system. Just because you confess something and say you did it, some cops won't even investigate it to see if you're still telling the truth, or because you confess and then just leave it at like that, leave it like that, and then send you to jail. That's not really being a cop, because you're innocent to proven guilty, right? So even if I confess, you still got to prove that I'm guilty of it, especially in this life and age. So it's very interesting. It was a very interesting movie. That's kind of the part I wanted to talk about, because that part was the really part that got to me. It's like, damn, like, could her life have been different if she would have told the truth? Because you went to jail where probably all the guards hated you because you killed a cop. And then you get out and you got to keep it a secret because some people, like her coworker who punched her deck in the face because she found out that she killed a cop, and just because her dad's a cop, oh, now you're a cop killer, I don't like you. I don't even know what happened, why. Like, everybody, like all the other people in this character, surrounding this character, Ruth Slater, were making judgments, drawing conclusions, all because she was a convict, or because she was labeled as a cop killer. Why does it matter more in this country that you killed a cop versus a normal person? Why? You could have been a shithead cop, and if you get shot by somebody, that other person gets labeled as enemy number one in people's eyes because you shot a cop. You don't know nothing about the cop. Cop could have been a piece of shit or not. You don't know the situation. In this country, we draw so many conclusions and assumptions about each other, and it's fucking ridiculous. Like, what is the point of serving 20 years of your life if that doesn't add value to you paying for it? In this life, we live and we die, right? If you choose to be a cop, if you choose to be it doesn't even really matter what career field you choose. Because you could die by any means, and it could be completely out of your control. You could be walking, crossing the street, and just because someone, I don't know, got an emergency phone call in that moment and was frantic, wasn't paying attention, could have hit you while you're walking the street. You did everything right, and you saw the walk sign. You could have done everything right in your life, and your life could be taken like that because of someone else's choices or someone else's environment or situation. Like, there's so many things in this life that we cannot control, and yet we try so desperately to control it, and because of that control, we draw so many assumptions, so many conclusions. We draw so many lines, all because of that fear of control or no control. Something to think about. Look at me getting all philosophical during the movie review. Well, that's it, folks. Really good movie, Unforgivable. Watch it on Netflix. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace out. Love you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I would really much appreciate it. I'm gonna finish this. Enjoy it. Because that movie made me think. It made me think. It made me think.